Hello everyone, welcome to the very first edition of Unrestricted News, your number one news source for all things e-bike related, and I'm your host. Well, typically today I'd be out riding my bike as it's a weekend, but unfortunately for me, I live in the San Francisco Bay Area and we are dealing with some historically bad weather today. It's about 52 degrees outside and we're expecting up to a half inch of rain. So please folks, if you know someone who lives on the West Coast, please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. But that being said, guys, what do you think of the new studio? Looks great, right? I spared absolutely no expense getting this thing set up. But before we get started, guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so already. And if you have subscribed, please don't unsubscribe. Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry in advance. I'll do better. Well, unfortunately, I need to start off with this broadcast with a very serious story. You see, there seems to be a massive rift growing specifically within the 60-volt segment of the e-bike market. And that's due to the fact that Wired, well known and loved for the Wired Freedom and the Wired Cruiser, now seems to have a direct competitor in a company called eCells. Now, apparently eCells has been around for about 5 years, but just recently people now are acting like they've known about them the whole time. See, the problem people have is at first glance, it appears that eCells stole Wired's homework. You can see here, this is the eCell 5-star. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the Wired Freedom. You can see here, here's the eCell 5-star e-bike. You see the confusion? See, these bikes look almost exactly the same. So at first, people were saying, oh, they must have contacted the same manufacturer and just literally have the same bike with a different logo on it. But upon further investigation, it appears that eCells has been making this frame, or at least a similar frame for a long time. And they just now offer this bike with the same Hintok drivetrain and the same size battery and the same front fork and the same rear shock and the same handlebars, but the similarities in there. I get kind of at first, and I got caught up into it. It's like, oh, they did kind of looks like they stole the design. But honestly, if you look around the e-bike market, a lot of the times the only thing you're buying that's unique to a company is the frame. You see, a lot of these companies use the same exact components. They're not making the battery. They're using a Bafang motor or a variety of a couple of manufacturers. And almost all the components on the bike are made by third parties. So really, when it comes down to buying an e-bike, you're kind of buying into the company. So you need to buy from a company you can trust that has a great warranty or customer support or whatever it may be, which is why you can see a lot of bikes on Amazon that look good at a glance, but what's the chances you buy one of those bikes and there's something wrong with it and you're just SOL. So I can understand why people were upset at first, but honestly, this was bound to happen sooner or later. So it's going to be interesting to see how Wired responds to this, because the eCells bike is the same price as Wired. However, they do not charge for shipping. So this is kind of a unique situation here. I do have affiliate links for Wired, and feel free to use one that should be in the description of this video if you want to buy a Wired Freedom or Cruiser. It does look like they're probably going to have to adjust or change their prices or something, but this is all bound to happen at some point or another. That being said, guys, I speak about warranties and ecosystem at all. You've probably heard a variety of stories about Steve, the owner of Wired. I know what you're thinking already. So what? The guy owns the company. Well, that's not the strange part. The strange part is that every single customer interaction, phone call, email, or other, seems to be dealt with directly by Steve himself. As a matter of fact, I heard a story of a customer who called in while his wife was in labor, and Steve actually picked up the phone and talked her through the entire childbirth. That got me thinking, are these stories too good to be true? It's almost like Steve's in more than one place at a time. How can this be? We have an insider that agreed to talk to us on the condition of anonymity. Let's hear what they have to say.
So, when I worked there, I started at 8 in the morning, and from 8 to noon, I took over Steve responsibilities. I answered all my emails as Steve, and I answered the phone as Steve. And then at noon, the second person takes over, and they would do the same. So there's 24 hours a day of coverage of people being Steve, similar to the Princess Diaries with the Dread Pirate Roberts. Well, the title of Dread Pirate Roberts stays there. It was always a different person in that role. So that's why it seems like Steve's in more than one place at a time, because in fact he is.
Well, that's some hard-hitting journalism, isn't it, folks? Unfortunately, we're unable to verify any of these claims, as YouTube user jfly2249 was unavailable for comment. Well, next up, we have a positive story, and that is everybody's favorite, and might I add, extremely handsome YouTuber, Shoot the Chit, celebrated his 1,000th subscription by releasing a video in commemoration of this event. He did agree to give us an exclusive interview later in this broadcast when he's going to explain exactly how he got a white freedom, so stay tuned for that one. With current trends in e-bikes becoming faster and faster and faster, that's led some people to question, are e-bikes becoming too fast? Well, YouTubers don't seem to share that sentiment, as there seems to be an unofficial competition to see who can strap the most amount of motors and batteries on their bike, with Citizen Cycle currently in the lead with his bike dubbed the Cocaine Bear, which is built off a modified Aerial Grizzly. This bike has 3 motors, a front and rear hub, and a mid-drive. But that's not the current competition that's heating up. The current competition is modified wired bikes, sporting a dual-motor wired cruiser, and Citizen Cycle and his recently unveiled dual-motor wired Freedom. So which one of these YouTubers will be the first to reach 200 miles an hour on their modified bike? Let's give you a sneak peek of what that might look like. All right, come on, guys. Let's be careful out there, okay? What was that? We have a breaking news alert? All right.
This is CNN Breaking News.
What? No, I didn't take that from CNN. What are you talking about? Anyways, we have just learned that Matt from Trail Happy TV has in fact performed 13 e-bike reviews in the time it's taken me to make this one video. What was that? 14? Wow. He's made 14 e-bike reviews in the time it's taken me to make this one video. Can you guys believe that? Anyways, keep up the good work and maybe we can be friends someday. And without further ado, we're going to speak to Tim from Shoot the Chit, where he agreed to tell us all exactly how he got his white Freedom from Wired. I can't wait to hear this story. We're going to go to him live right now. Hello, Tim. Welcome to the show. Hey, can you hear us? Tim, can you hear us? Hello. Oh, guys, unfortunately, it looks like we're having some technical difficulties, so we're not going to be able to get that story today after all. Well, we're all out of time for today, so that's going to do it for the first ever edition of Unrestricted News. If you liked this episode, let me know in the comments below, and if you didn't, leave something constructive like, don't quit your day job. Unfortunately, I already did quit my day job if you saw my last video. But anyways, guys, I do have some good news, and that is, I'm going to be giving away one of these shirts to a lucky person in the comments section. I think these shirts came out pretty nice. Keep in mind, I only have these from medium to 2XL. So if you're interested in winning this shirt, just leave something in the comments like, I would like a shirt, and then I'll pick one of you guys and I'll contact you and then I'll ship it to you, and then you receive the package and open the package, and you could put on look, let's not overcomplicate things, okay? I'll pick somebody in the comments and we'll contact you and we'll go from there, all right? But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video, and subscribe if you haven't already or if you want to, and I'll catch you in the next video. Signing out.